Hi everyone, Leanne here from Jada Blossom, and I have another fun fall card to share with you today. Hey, so I'm using Jada Blossom's Stitched Arch dies, their Wheelbarrow Dies Fall add-ons, their Give Thanks stamp set, their fall dies, Jada Blossom's Card Mat dies, and the Happy Fall Nomi stamp set and outline dies. Oops, I'm going to pull it up. There we go. And this is, I'm using Echo Park's Fall Fever 6-inch pad and the matching 12-inch solids. And then this is the little sunflower piece that was assembled on that Wheelbarrow Fall add-ons assembly video. So check that out and you can watch me put that together. But I used all that paper that was listed along with Distress ink and Vintage Photo around the edges. Okay, so first I am adding some pattern paper from that 6-inch pad. And this is, let me see, this is I cut it out with the card mat die and I added it to my A2 sized card base, which is 4.25 by 11, scored at 5.5 inches with my Martha Stewart scoreboard on my Teflon bone folder. I made that out of Paper Tray Ink craft cardstock. Then I cut this arched piece out of the matching 12-inch paper line and solids of Fall Fever. So this here is some wood grain craft cardstock. It's called Gemond Tyndall wood grain. And I just inked around the edges with Distress ink in Vintage Photo. And this is, that's from the, the Fall Dies from Jada Blossom. This little barrel is perfect to go with all of the Wheelbarrow add-ons. So I'm going to add on 2 little strips that were cut from that Fall Fever pad. And I just think that this is super cute. And then I'm going to add my sunflowers to it to make it look like there's like a whole barrel of sunflowers. So now on the inside, I'm going to add some Neenah Solar White 80-pound cardstock. Cut at 1/4 inch smaller than an A2 size card front, just to zhuzh up the inside. You could write and stamp on the craft, right? And now I'm going to layer some paper from that 6-inch pad again, just to the bottom of my card. I just find it adds a little something. And I try to match it to what's going on in the front, right? So I'm going to add a strip of this pattern as well. And then I'm going to trim off that overhang with a pair of scissors. I just really like to decorate the inside of a card. I just think it really adds something. Now I'm pulling out a little piece of ephemera from Farmer's Market from Doodlebug. And of course, what is it? It's sunflowers. So I'm going to add that to the inside, right? And I think it just really does add something. So there is my little jar of sunflowers. And I will trim off that overhang with a pair of scissors using my Bearly Art glue. Now I'm going to stamp my sentiment on the inside with VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink, and it's going to say Happy Thanksgiving. And I love to make fall cards. And I'm going to stamp with my VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink there. And I love to use my Misty because it really does help with my stamping. There. I tend not to make a mess anymore. And there we go. Now I am going to stamp a sentiment from that Happy Fall Nomi stamp set. And I'll be stamping it onto Neenah Desert Storm 80-pound cardstock again, using my VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. There, so it says Hello Autumn. And I just think that's kind of a good sentiment for the front. And I'm going to cut that out with the outline die. And oops, I grabbed the wrong one. And there's the right one. And I'm going to cut that out with my mini Anna Griffin Empress machine that I have on my desk. There it is. And I just think it's perfect. So this is a super easy card. So I'm going to stick these 2 items together using some ATG tape. There, the nice thing is you can kind of roll that tape with your fingertip, right? And I'm going to add my sunflowers, and look how fun that just pops, right? Trying to decide where it's going to go. And I'm going to stick down this in a moment, but I'm pulling out my black glaze pen first, and I'm going to color in the little nail head spots. This gives like a little bit of dimensional black shine when it dries, and it just looks great. It kind of accents those little nail heads or screw heads, whatever they are, rivets, whatever. There. And there it is. And you do have to let it dry. But, you know, as long as you are careful, you're good. So I'm going to use my ATG tape to stick this little sunflower grouping to the front of my card. I love that new stitched arch die to give you like a spot to put your little die cut image. I just think it makes it pop. And doesn't that look fun? Now I'm going to add on my little sentiment here with some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. And I'm going to add that to the front of that actual little bucket. So I'm just using little half pieces for underneath there. There we go. I know I use a lot of foam squares, but I like things to be quite level. And there it is. So hello, autumn. And now I'm going to pull out some of these little shape sprinkles from Doodlebug. And these are the brown ones. And I love using hearts. I just think that it kind of always looks good. So I'm going to add in 3 there and 2 in the lower corner there. There. And I'm trying to decide if I want to add another one in. I'm going to, I think. We want odd numbers. And there we go. So a super fun and easy fall card, right? So I'm going to pull up my Secure White Jelly Roll pen in number 10 just to add a few little highlights here. Just for fun. I think it adds something to your little ephemera piece. I have tons of these odds and ends. I use them all the time. Now I'm going to pull out that black glaze pen and I'm going to dot the centers of these little sunflowers. It'll kind of make the little seeds shine. Remember, you're going to have to let it dry a little bit because it will smear. It doesn't take too long to dry, but, you know, put it off to the side so you don't mess things up. I've learned through experimentation with screwing things up. So you don't want to do that. And there we go. So thank you so much for watching. Check out the Jada Blossom blog to be inspired with the team, the Jada Blossom store to get your hands on these awesome products. And thanks for watching. Bye, everybody.